First of all, thank you very much for your overwhelming response for today's session. Also, can you see the slides now?
Yes, we can see, Miss.
Right. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for participating in today's session and for your overwhelming response. So I am actually planning to give you a very high return on investment for your time and energy today. I have tried to create some very interesting, enjoyable, and also fun activities. And also I have tried to base all these activities on not only on my whims and fancies, but also on research, right? So I hope it turns out to be enjoyable, but also informative, useful session for everyone who's participating today. But before we begin, I have a request from all of you. Can all of you do something for me? I would like everyone to go and grab a notepad and maybe a pen. And also, I would like all of you to sit in a quiet place and also to stop all types of multitasking. So if you are doing other stuff and if you are watching TV, looking at your phones, chatting with your family members, doing any other things, can you please stop all that, right? Because it's very important that that you participate 100% in today's session, that you think about what I'm saying to you, that you try to really apply what's being said in this session, right? We have less than 3 hours, which is not at all, I'm sure everyone will agree, is not at all enough for something as deep as summary writing. But as you may notice on the slides, I have titled today's session as Summary Writing, a General Introduction. That is because I want to give everyone a chance to understand the basic, however, the most critical skills when it comes to summary writing. So you will see in the session today that summary writing is not just about writing. It is much more about various other things than your interest and your enthusiasm, right? So let me repeat what I said just now. Can all of you please give me the 3 hours fully, not half-heartedly? Can all of you go and grab some notepad and pens so that you can write certain things down? And also, I would like you to stop all the multitasking you're doing and give me your full attention for today's session, right? So I want to make this program, today's session, something very useful so that you don't have to repeat another summary writing session, except if it is more advanced than this, right? So that is the main purpose. If you pay half attention, you will not get any benefit at all, right? So let me move on to the objectives of the session. So we will look at certain skills, as I said, that is needed for summary writing. However, it does not really always focus on summary writing per se. It needs to look at certain other skills like academic reading skills and how to convey a message. Even a summary has to be written in a persuasive manner, right? So that is why we say summary writing is very poorly done, because a lot of people don't realize that a summary is a persuasive piece of writing. So that will also be tackled in today's session. We will look at paraphrasing in a very brief manner and also summarizing mainly. And then we will look at some of the very important techniques and strategies that are actually discussed and admitted research. So this session now becomes very, very useful and practical so that you really benefit whatever field that you are engaged in. You will then really benefit, right? So again, I'm repeating what I said. Please do not multitask. Please pay attention and engage fully in today's session, and then send in your questions or even your thoughts as we go along. Don't wait till the last moment, because I always like to have a two-way interactional session rather than me talking and all of you behind the screen, y'all are being passive, right? So don't be passive, please be active and make sure that you get the full benefit of today's session. Right, so let's start in a little fun manner, okay? What is the summary? Everyone, I'm sure you were expecting, but I want you to tell me, what is a summary? I'm giving everyone 2 minutes, right? We have a large number of people. It doesn't matter. Please try. Okay, I'm giving everyone 2 minutes. I want you to write one sentence defining what a summary is. Okay, so you have 2 minutes, everyone. And within 2 minutes, I want you to use the chat and send me one sentence, okay, what a summary is. Shall we all try? Please be active and at least try to send in a short answer. Okay, right, very good. I already have one answer from Kale Priya. Thank you. So let's see how many of you are very quick. Malindu, thank you. Don't wait for the others to respond. Please respond as soon as you, as soon as you can, right? Sirivardhana. Okay, I need more answers, more than this. I want everyone to send in, because y'all are going to be future leaders, y'all are managers, probably you manage your own teams. So if the boss doesn't know what a summary is, how are you going to teach your next generation, right? So you should think about it. I'm sure all of you already know this, but I want to hear from you, right? So don't be passive. Make sure you're doing work, right? And if you can't send in through the chat, at least please write it on a notepad, because this is really important, right? Excellent answers. Now I'm getting a lot of answers. Everyone, can you also do a little thing for me? I see a lot of numbers, right? Like the prisoners, right? Only prisoners have numbers. So I guess none of you are prisoners here. So please put your correct name and change the numbers that are appearing, because I can see only numbers for some people. Okay, excellent. So a lot of good answers. Okay, Sanarthana, Tarindu, Ishani. Okay, excellent. Kusita, Ruani, Ishani. I need more answers, everyone. Right? You all can't be silent if you want to benefit from. Yeah, very good. Right. So now that you have thought about it, let's do something fun. I saw that I think almost everyone has it correctly. Okay, but I'm going to show you an official definition that I took from research. So let's do something fun. I'm going to get you hard things today. I'm going to get you to do small little fun activities. Okay. So thank you very much for responding. At least I know some of you are active and you are really there. So thank you for being very responsive. Now, shall we move on to this? Okay. Now, this is a definition that was given in 1993 by John Levant. And I like this definition because it really captures the essence of what is a summary. Okay, so what I want you to do is look at the slide. Okay, in the slide, I have jumbled up his definition. Okay, let's see how good your English is also. So all the words are jumbled up. I want you to just unjumble, right? Unscramble the sentence and put it into good English. There is one sentence. You do not need to add anything. You just need to reorder the words so that you get the correct definition, right? Okay, so let's see who responds very quickly. Try to unjumble and tell me what is the definition. Let's see who responds first. Okay, excellent. I think Taja is the first person to unscramble the sentence. Very correct, Tanuja. Well done. So I will read from Tanuja's answer, and there are a lot of others who are responding. Excellent job, everyone. Okay. So this is the type of the level of interaction and that I always like to see, because it's very easy to have these online sessions and not benefit. Okay. So that I think one of the reasons why we have so many online sessions, but unfortunately not even 20% of regular learning is done, is because there's a lot of opportunity for us to become shadows, right? So let's be very active and really benefit rather than be passive and switch off and do some other multitasking. So Tanuja says the reduction of a large amount of information to its most important points, right? The reduction, everyone, the reduction of a large amount of information to its most important points. So that's a very simple definition, right? It captures what a summary is in a very simple, easy to understand manner. The reduction of a large amount of information to its most important points, right? Okay, so let's move on from that because we have very little time to move into more deep areas, right? So let's look at some more definitions, right? This is all taken from various research, academic research that have been done previously on summarization. So Wall says to summarize is to report information using a lot fewer words than were used in the original communication. Now, listen carefully because I'm going to give you another task to do, a very simple one, not a difficult one, but listen carefully. The process of determining what content in passage is most important and transforming it into a succinct in a statement in one's own words. This was said by Friend. Okay, and then the third definition I've taken from Heidi, or Heidi, could be Heidi as well. A summary is a brief statement that represents the condensation of information accessible to a subject and reflects the gist of the discourse. Brown, Day, and Jones says the ability to work recursively on information to render it as succinctly as possible requires judgment, effort, knowledge, and strategies. And also, we must remember that a summary is sometimes known as a précis, a synopsis, or a paraphrase. So, there is a little task for you to do now. Okay. I want you to read all the definitions again. I will show them once more. And I want you to tell me very quickly, again using your chat, because, usually I would ask people to listen through the microphone, but today, because we have a large number, I guess, we need to restrict it to 1 minute. So, yes, what are the two most important skills in summary writing? What are the two most important skills in summary writing? That is your task. I want you to look at the definitions again, okay, and tell me what are the two most critical skills in summary writing. Definitions again, okay, and tell me what are. So don't wait. I want you to quickly respond if you get an idea. Okay, very good. Mahesha, you got one correct. Excellent. Good job. What is the other one? And importance. No, I still didn't get it. Okay, very good. Pavani got it, I think. Right? Creativity, I'm not too sure because, okay, a summary, one thing, okay, that's a good answer, Pavani. Creativity should not be a part of a summary because I think, okay, let's talk about it later. I think that's one of the main mistakes people make when they try to write a summary. They think that it should be creative. However, a summary should not be creative. It should be rather a factual reporting of someone else's thinking most of the time, right? So let's look at it, right? Okay, excellent. So my question to you is, what are the two important skills in summary writing? And I think a few of you got the answers correct. Number one skill is you have to be concise. What is concision? Concise or concision means that you're being very brief. In other words, if you can use 5 words, right, without using 5, if you're using 2 words, that is being concise. However, you cannot change the meaning, you cannot omit anything from the meaning. That is concision, right? Second skill that is very important for summary writing is identifying the key points or the main ideas, right? Okay, now tell me again, what are the two most important skills in summary writing? Being concise and identifying main idea or ideas, right? Or the key points. These are the two main skills in summary writing. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a little thing to do, a summary to do actually, right? So just look at it. I have done all the hard work. You need any short response, right? So I want you to tell me which summary is the best. Just look at it very briefly. These are the 4 summaries, right, that were created for one particular text. Okay, so these are the different summaries. I want you to just quickly go through them, and then I will show you the passage, and then again I will show you the 4 summaries. So you need to tell me whether the correct summary is option A, option B, option C, or option D, and why. Why part is very, very important, right? So I hope everyone is clear. Let me be silent for a minute. I want you to read it carefully. I will show it one more time, but for the moment, read silent. Hold on. Everyone, listen to me carefully. You are already sending in answers. How can you send answers? I have not even shown you the paragraph. Okay, don't jump the gun. Hold on. These are the options, right? These are the summaries, but you haven't seen the original passage yet. So I just want you to read carefully, and then I want you to tell me which is the correct summary. You don't know what is the original paragraph. Right. So now I hope all of I'm going to show you the original passage, right? Now, this is the importance. This is why I always say don't multitask. When you do multitasking, it's very difficult for you to understand the flow of what you are learning. And also remember, you are here in this session today because you want to learn about our communication. You're actually learning about communication. You're not learning about management. You're not learning about accountancy, right? None of those. You're learning about communication. So if you want to honestly learn something which is very connected to communication, remember it's a skill. Now, accounting management, those are knowledge-based, content-based subjects, right? But communication, summary writing, these are skills-based subjects. So you can't multitask and you can't really do other stuff and do this as well. If you do that, you will end up miscommunicating. And again, you will have to go for another summary writing session. So ask yourself that question. Do you really want to improve your summary writing today? If so, you have to listening not writing skills help you think and analyze, right? So these two things are very important. Okay, let me show you the original passage. Read it and then match and then tell me which option is the best summary for this paragraph. Okay, let me go back to the options again and I will let you read it once more and then decide. Okay, so these are the options again. Okay, along with your option, I would like you to send in a brief statement about why you selected this particular option. Okay, why is it the best? Why is whatever you selected the best summary? Tell me in brief. Okay, so I have seen some very good answers, some not so good answers, right? But I guess overall, if I look at all the answers, everyone has given all options, right? So that means A, B, D, all four considered the group. So that means, right? That means as a group of people, we have varying levels of awareness about what a good summary is, right? Otherwise, actually, there are two options here that are actually the correct summaries, right? Not just one, but there are very clear two options that are not at all good summaries. So now the fact that we got all the four options in your answers means that there are definitely, as a group of people, we need to definitely improve our knowledge and awareness of what a good summary looks like, right? Okay, so well done to everyone who selected option B, the second option, and option D, B and D. Okay, A, many of you said A is a good summary, the second summary, and also C is not a good summary. So A and C are poor examples or examples that are bad regarding a summary. Okay, so B and D are the correct options. Why is B and D good? Some of you have already given some of these ideas, right? Now, let me be silent again. I want you to very quickly read and compare. Read and compare options B and D, not the other two, okay? B and D. Read, compare, okay? And then think why B and D is correct. Why do you think B and D are correct? Can you quickly think about it? Can you see any common features? Very good. Pavani, excellent answer. Pavani says emphasizing the main idea and brief the whole paragraph. So if you look at B and D, as Pavani says very correctly, B and D identifies the main ideas. Remember I said at the beginning, I said what are the two important skills in summarizing. So one of the skills was main idea, right? Identifying the ability to identify the main idea. So B and D both correctly identify the same main idea. Look at A and C. Can someone quickly tell me what is wrong with C? What is wrong with C? Why is C a very bad summary? Yes, very good. Anton says too many information, very correct. Not because it's too long, not because of the length, but there's a lot of yes, there's a lot of language is also not bad. Okay, languages, yes, maybe the style that you're referring to, right? So as Madhu says, yes, there's a maybe style may not be very suitable, but however, one of the biggest problems in summary C is that it contains unnecessary information, right? It contains details that should not be there in a proper summary, in a professional summary. So if you can see the C, it says go to class, go to work, and also to complete the homework. So these are details. Details should not be part of a summary. And what is wrong with A? Option A. Can you answer? Yeah, it's the opposite, right? It's too short and it does not really convey the full meaning, the full main idea. So exactly. So A does not contain the overall main idea and it omitted a lot of important information. But on the opposite, C contains too many information and it contains unnecessary ideas as well. So you see, summary writing requires you to be very, very active, attentive, and you need to have presence of mind. As I said at the beginning of today's session, if you all are multitasking, if you are cutting vegetables, and if you're talking to your husband or wife, if you're looking at your children, or if you're even if you're at office, if you're doing 10 things, you cannot write a good summary. Okay, believe me, I don't think there'll be anyone in the world who can multitask and write a summary. Okay, so make sure if you have to write an important summary for your professional work, for your exams, for your assignments, right? Make sure your first step, you should always remember to give 100% attention and have presence of mind. Okay, what did we talk about so far, everyone? We talked about the importance of paying attention. We talked about what is a summary. We looked at several definitions of summaries. And then we talked about two important skills in summarizing. And then we also looked at a practical example. Let me move on to the next point. Okay. So there are two main types of summaries that we always use as professionals. Whatever academic level or professional level, you need to use both these types of summaries. So one summary type is called writer-based summaries, and the second one is called the reader-based summaries. Okay, so what are these? Writer-based summaries and reader-based summaries. Think about it. Okay, absorb the information. Think about what you have done so far for your exams, for your assignments, for your office work. You have done these, right? But did you know that they belong to two separate categories? If you don't know that, then obviously your summary is going to contain certain errors and problems. So writer-based summaries. The first type of summary is writer-based. What does it mean? Writer-based summaries are usually written to monitor as well as to facilitate the writer's own comprehension. So, for example, when you are a student, now today Augusta talked about your exams and your underperforming areas or areas that did not meet the examiner standards, right? So, when you read, when you are a student, when you want to learn something, uh, the problem is, okay, Kinesha has asked whether I'll be able to send the TOT. I have already prepared a handout. Okay, so I'm going to share that. I will do that now itself. So the handout contains all the important points, and I don't think I should share the slides with you, right? So the handout has all the important points. And apart from whatever that is there in the handout, I want you to make your own notes, because remember, if you are lazy and if you can't be bothered to take notes, right, you can definitely never improve your summarizing skills, because the foundation of summarizing is actually note taking. You need to know how to take notes. So start to take notes from today's session and practice. If you are lazy and if you can't be bothered, your summaries will also not meet the proper standard, right? So I'm going to share the, yeah, let me, you need to know notes from today's session. Yeah, let me, Okay, let me talk while I'm trying to do this, right? So writer-based summaries are summaries that as a student, when you read something, when you read your textbooks or articles or reference materials, right? When you read books, you make summaries in order to understand the source text fully, right? Because summarizing is one of the most important skills for learning. If you want to learn something deeply, you need to learn, you need to make summaries. You need to summarize the information that you are learning, right? So summarizing is therefore a very, very important skill. Yeah, give me a second because I have to, I think there's a problem. Right? Okay, so I'm going to continue my discussion. So summarizing helps you to learn content better. So as a good student, you need to write your own summaries, right? And these are called writer-based summaries. So for example, if you are taking notes and for reading materials to produce an essay or a term paper, that is called a writer-based summary. Most of the time, good students will be writing writer-based summaries. And even if you start your higher studies, higher degrees or higher qualifications, you definitely need you definitely need to master writer-based summaries, especially for research purposes. When you go for higher academic qualifications, for master's level, for PhD level, you need to make writer-based summaries, right? So writer-based summaries are summaries that you write for yourself in order for you to understand what you are reading better. The second one is readable is common summaries, right? These read a bit of an audience, such as a teacher, professor, leader. Often examples are abstracts of research or review, book reviews, right? So these are examples of reader-based summaries. So can all of you please check your chat? I have just sent you the handout. Please download. Let me give you a little task. Right. So can all of you please send you the handout so that maybe I can ask Augusta to send. But I think it's there. Okay, everyone, you need to download it and then to open it. Okay. So I have given all the key points there, and also I will be doing some of the activities that I've put down in the on the worksheet. Okay, so what are we talking about, everyone? We're talking about the types of summaries. Where you write a summary for own benefit, and then reader-based summaries where you write a summary for somebody else's use or benefit, right? So let's look at some examples. I want you to think about these two types, and I want you to tell me what type of a summary this is. You don't need to read it from top to bottom, just skim, right? I hope you know what is skimming and scanning. So use skimming, scanning, and tell me what it is. What is this? Is an example of, is it an example of reader-based summary or writer-based summary? Okay, let's see who responds quickly. Read it quickly and just think about it. Is it a reader based? Yes. Very good, Ruvini. No. Rasika, no. Anton, correct. Yashani, correct. Can you all tell me, see an example of what? Let me show you the previous slide. Can you tell me what it is an example of? Yeah, correct. This is a reader-based summary, but what is it, everyone? Yeah, reader-based summary, but what is it? Actually, in real life, what is it called? Very good. Sanal says book review. It's a book review, right? So now remember, you will see book reviews in newspapers, magazines, right? So book reviews are practical example of a summary. When you say I'm writing a book review one day, right, you should remember you're writing a type of summary. So very good. Let's move on to the second example. What is this? What type of a summary is this one? Read it first. Don't panic and jump. Just read and think. Okay. One of the biggest problems that sometimes we see is some people are very quick to always, come to conclusions. So, but if you are a good student, you will not be too quick. You will first think. I learned this, then I will look at this and analyze it first. So don't be too quick also. I mean, don't be too slow. Don't be too quick also. Just take your time and think about what you're learning. Okay. What is this? This is sample 2. Right. Very good. Let's see who sends answers. Sample 2, what is it? Okay, unfortunately, everyone is wrong this time. So far, everyone is wrong. So probably the opposite, right? So this is actually an example of a writer-based summary. Okay, why is it a writer-based summary, everyone? What did I say previous slide? What did I say? Writer-based summaries to monitor as well as to facilitate the writer's own comprehension. So how do you know this is a writer-based summary? Now, can you see? It says King's essay has the purpose of providing information about a situation. It is useful source. I'm looking at it, okay. It is a useful source to use for selection of the benefits of the American Dream model. So this last sentence is a very important sentence because here we can see that the writer of this summary is writing for himself. He is trying to understand the reference given at the beginning. Okay, so this person has read an article called The American Dream, Dead, Alive, or on Hold, and this person is has written a summary. Why has this person written a summary? For his benefit, because he or she wants to write a essay, school essay or assignment. So this is a very good example for you to understand. If you are planning for your higher education, then you have to think about this, right? So writer-based summaries are written for yourself. So at the end or somewhere in the summary, you have to mention how you are going to use the source article. So that is what this last sentence does, right? So therefore we know sample 2 is a then this is the last one I'm showing you. Sample 3. What is this? Vatsala is the only one who got the answer correct. Others incorrect. Okay, so think about it. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Y'all are learning, but you have to think and you have to understand this, because no wonder people are making a lot of mistakes with their writing. Okay, so if you don't know the difference between a reader-based summary and a writer-based summary, obviously when you write a summary for exam purposes or for other purpose, you might not notice it, but other people will notice that there are some issues in this summary. Right? So that is why it's important for you to understand the different types of summaries. So this is sample 3, everyone, is a reader-based summary. So let me go back to the slide again. What is a reader-based summary? It is written for the benefit of another person, not for yourself, right? So let's look at sample 3. It says we analyze the demand of hedging and insurance by a firm facing liquidity risk. We study how the firm's liquidity management policy. So what is this doing? Think about the language. Your language is so critical, right? So this is why, again, I'm emphasizing on the importance of paying attention and paying full and concentrating and not multitasking with other things, because unlike content based subjects, when you learn a skills based subject, you must really focus and apply, right? So look at the language. We analyze, we study, right? And it says what else, we find, right? So this is the language where it is very clear the reader, this is written for the benefit of another person, not you, right? So this is actually, does anyone know what is this an exam? What is the practical name that you give this type of summary? Earlier I showed you a book review, but this is not a book review. This is something else. Practical name, does anyone know what practical name? Not exactly a report, Prajeevan. This is something else. Very good. Yes. See, a lot of you know this. Excellent. Right. So what is this? This is called a research abstract. So you do a research, and then in your research paper, you have to summarize your research in one paragraph. So that's another powerful example for summary. Right? How summaries are used for practical professional purposes. So you saw 3 examples, everyone. What did you learn by looking at these examples? You learned that summaries can be written for yourself, the benefit of yourself, and summaries can be written for somebody else's benefit. 2 things, reader-based summaries and writer-based summaries. So next time you write a summary, ask yourself a question. Should I write a reader-based summary or should I write a writer-based summary? Okay, as a student, if you are doing any works, this is probably why your examiners are saying that some people are still not up to standard in their summarizing skills, because you haven't understood the difference between reader-based, writer-based. So if you are a student, you need to write a reader-based summary. Sorry, writer-based summary. If you are writing for your professional work, for somebody else's benefit, then you need to produce a reader-based summary. So everything changes depending on the type of summary that you need to produce for a particular occasion. Right? So in very, very deep, right? If you don't have this knowledge, obviously your summaries are not at all going to hit the mark. Okay. Now think about this. Now everyone, some of us have confusions about summarizing, right? And when I speak to my own students in classrooms, I know very well. If I say, okay, let's next week I'm going to do summary writing, people are like, yo, miss, we can't, right? So why is summarizing so difficult, right? What do you think are the 3 most critical reasons why summarizing is difficult. At least can you think of one reason? There are many reasons why summarizing is difficult. But again, as I said to you at the beginning of the session today, I have based all the material on research, real academic research. So according to research, what do you think are the three most important reasons why summarizing is difficult, right? Okay, excellent. Good answers. No patience. Very good. Mahesh says our attitude about yes. Okay, excellent. Good answers. Identify language bad. Okay, excellent. Difficult to identify, absence of abbreviations, right? Need to give clear, poor understanding, time consuming. Very good. What else? Now, again, I'm looking at all of you, right? Today, there are a large number of people. So please remember what I said at the beginning of the session. Every one of you should personally, individually, right, benefit from today's session. Don't log into the session just to say that, you are as part of your CPD or doing this, right? Just try to get the benefit from it, because next time if you have to face an exam or write a summary for professional purposes, if you still can't, what is the point of spending your time today, right? So be active, everyone. Don't wait for others to respond. You take the initiative and make it a truly enjoyable practical session. Okay, because I don't want you, when you are learning about summary writing, same points about summary writing again and again and again. We can definitely, as Augusta says, we can definitely have more sessions regarding the difficult areas of summarizing rather than what I'm talking about today, right? Okay, very good answers. Let's look at the three main reasons according to real research, right? According to academic research, what do academics, what have academics identified as the three critical reasons why summarizing is difficult? Okay, if you want, you can just make a note of this to yourself, because you can next time try to overcome some of these problems. If you know about it, you can overcome it, right? So number one reason according to research is cognitive load. What does it mean? When you need to write a summary, you have to use your brain to the maximum level, because it's a very complicated thing that you are doing as a human being. Your attention has to be there 100%. You have to have a good memory. What I have seen with some people in my classes is that when they write the third sentence, they forget the first sentence. When they write the last sentence, they have completely ignored the first, all the sentences they have written before. So your memory has to be very sharp. You have to remember the source article, the original article. What exactly did it say? Because I think someone said at the beginning, you have to be creative. You should never be creative. Not that you should never be creative, but you should be creative in summary writing. You should be a reporter, not a creator, right? So your memory is very important, and you have to know how to use, you have to be aware of composition strategies, right? The writing style, the tone, the linking, the discourse markers, the flow, the cohesion, coherence. There's a lot of things that you need to take into your mind. So therefore, research has identified the biggest problem we have when it comes to summarizing is cognitive load. Okay, try to remember that. Try to jot it down in your notepad, because this will become really helpful when you write complicated summaries. Okay, second reason, complexities of the target material. Not only your brain, but the source material, the original article or the book also creates a lot of problems, because some people some books will use low frequency vocabulary. What does it mean? In other words, difficult words, words that you don't really see every day. Okay? Elaborate sentence structures. Yeah, unknown words. Elaborate sentence structure. Some people have grammar problems, right? Particularly if you are studying in the English medium, it's a problem in countries like Sri Lanka. It's not at all a recent shame of take it as something that you need to improve on rather than just lamenting and crying about it, right? So don't maybe call English, like we in Sri Lanka we call it several names, right? We say Kadua, Katta, Pola. Like, don't call English any of those names. Just remember it's another language, right? And try to improve your grammatical knowledge, because that's really important when it comes to reading and summarizing. Abstractness. Abstractness means most of the ideas. Now, as accounting professionals, you deal with a lot of abstract ideas, right? Just like cryptocurrency. If somebody asks, like, give me the cryptocurrency, there's nothing there, no, right? It's just a virtual thing. So there's a lot of abstractness in some of these ideas, unfamiliarity of concepts and ideas. So if you don't have enough background knowledge, you might have problems understanding the text. And inappropriate or vague organization. Some of these writers, even they are experts in their field, when they write articles, they themselves are not aware of composition strategies, right? So one of the examples is your accounting management field. There are a lot of people in Sri Lanka who are experts in management finance. However, when we look at articles in newspapers, in websites that Sri Lankans or finance people write, the text organization is not really good. Okay, so they are writing about something important, however they don't know communication. Therefore there is a problem when it comes to reading and understanding. So this is why I want you to pay full attention to today's session, because communication is a very, very different subject which requires you to apply and have full engagement with it. Okay. Finally, the third reason, according to research, is that your personal interest and your background. So if you are a finance person, and if you say, for example, if you read a poem by Mark Twain, right? I'm sure you will have problems in understand unless you have studied literature in school. So personal interest and your background knowledge will always have an impact on your summaries. Okay, so everyone, what are the three main there are many others. I'm not saying there are no other ones. I'm just saying these are the three most important areas that you need to remember, that you need to correct, right? First of all, your cognitive load. There's a lot of things you have to do with your brain. Secondly, complexities of the target material, the book or the article that you are reading and trying to summarize. And finally, your personal interest, whether you have enough knowledge. Okay, let's move into something interesting now. We have talked about several key points, right? We talked about what is a summary. We talked about two different types of summaries. We talked about definitions. We talked about the two important skills of summarizing. And just now we talked also about why summarizing is difficult. Okay. Next, I want you to think about you. Okay, who are you as a summarizer? Are you a good summarizer or a bad summarizer? Okay, what sort of behaviors do you have as a summarizer? You have to think about it. So as usual, right? So this is something very simple. I don't want you to send me answers. This one I want you to do in your notebook. Okay. So as I said before, since you have a notebook with you, notepad with you, just please make sure uh, that you do this on the slides, right? Sorry, on the notebook, right? So here are some behaviors that we normally see from people who are trying to write summaries. Some of these are good behaviors and some of these are bad behaviors. So I'm giving exactly 2 minutes, or rather, let's say 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. And I want you to create a table in your notebook and I want you to sort them. Good behaviors and bad behaviors. What are the good behaviors? What are the bad behaviors? Very briefly. You don't need to write the entire sentence, but just maybe a keyword or two and put it in the correct section. Good behaviors, bad behaviors. Draw a table with 2 columns. The first column should be good behaviors. Second column should be bad behaviors, right? And then read the list and sort them according to the titles, right? So I hope that is clear. If it is not clear, just let me know. I will explain. You don't need to write the whole thing. Just put them into the correct slot. Okay, right. So I'm going to give everyone 3 minutes, right? Say it's 46 now, 7:46. So I'm going to, it will be 7:49. Okay, so 3 minutes to everyone to sort good and bad behaviors. Okay, so I hope everyone has gone through the list and you have thought about it. So let's get into it, right? So I want you to look at what you wrote down, and I want you to compare that this with compare your answers with this one. And while you're comparing, I want you to think about it. What if your examiner say that summarizing is one of the areas that overall your performance has to be improved on, right? Probably because some of you display some of these bad behaviors. So it's all right, but we need to, at least after today's session, I would like all of you, because I see a lot of you still being very active. um, However, I did notice a few people who are just, logging out and logging in after the CPD link, right? So don't do these things, because your institute has taken the trouble to offer you something like this, so that you really benefit from sessions like these and you really end up being able to do certain things. Just after the institute has it, if you, even after all these facilities offered to you, what is the point? Just you can just tell people that you did the CPD, but what is the point? It has to be shown through your behavior. It has to be demonstrated through your ability to do a good job. What is the point, right? So I hope everyone will remain interested and make sure that you, from the beginning to end, you will listen to me and also have do these fun activities, because as I said, I have done all the hard work and I'm just giving you tiny little things to do. You must have all the CA qualifications, but you not have personality to convince people. Am I audible to you? Again, no? Let me connection is, thank you so much. Yes, so as I have worked student for a very long time, and I know how talented and intelligent all of you are. But at the same time, the true picture is that there are people who don't really bother, about communication, personality, branding. They don't bother. So what happens is, when you go to the open market, you are not a sellable product, right? Some people, I think some, they think getting the CA qualification will guarantee a good job. It does not, right? Now you have to fight, because there are a lot of people with CA qualifications, right? So your personality, the way you communicate, the way you speak to another person, the way you write an email, right? The way you respond to someone politely, respectfully, these things will guarantee a high paying job for you, not just your CA qualifications, right? So get the maximum benefit, because for a long time I have worked with CA students, so I know a few small number. There are people who just log in, log out, and there's nothing, no improvement, right? So don't be, but I'm very happy that there are a lot of now can you hear me clearly or am I lagging? Am I clear now? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So as I was saying, so there are a small number of people who might not really take the benefit, but it's not good, right? For your institute also, they are making a lot of effort trying to give you the full benefit and trying to make you more polished and more for your skill in overall as a qualified person, right? So you have to try and put the little effort, then you get a huge ROI, as I said at the beginning, right? What are the bad behaviors, everyone? So usually bad summarizers, yeah, sure, definitely I will do that. So bad behavior, people who demonstrate bad behavior, this is all according to research, not based on my thinking only. So everything has a scientific value, what I'm saying in today's session. So I've put a lot of extra effort trying to locate all these research and trying to synthesize it for your benefit. So that's why I'm saying repeatedly, try to think, try to use what I'm saying for your benefit, right? So research says that bad students, or rather you can't say bad students, bad summarizers, they immediately get busy with writing. Okay, so if you're quick to write, then you're a bad summarizer. Start summarizing after reading the text. Why is it bad, everyone? Because good summarizers start summarizing while reading the text, not after. Okay, so as you can see on the other side, makes a plan for writing during reading itself. So reading is important. Third one, as Anton says, spends more time writing and less time on reading and thinking. So bad summarizers will actually think about the time factor, and they will be in a real hurry to write the summary and finish it. But on the other hand, a good summarizer is someone who will spend, I would say, about 60% of their time on reading and thinking, and about 40% of their time writing. So that therefore will spend a lot of time writing. It's important to ponder on, right? Overlook the text structure. Bad summarizers will overlook the text structure. What I meant by text organization earlier, I talked about this point, right? Every article, every book, every magazine, every report is written according to a particular structure. So if you're a good summarizer, you will notice that structure and you will use it to construct your own summary. Bad summarizers will not see the structure. So it's going to be very confusing and mixed up, right? Bad summarizers will use author's words, right? They will pick chunks from the original text. And that's why, if you remember the examples I showed you earlier, option C had a lot of details from the original text. So that's why I said option C was bad summary. Okay, so uses author's words, substitutes their own words for the author's ideas. Why is that bad? Right? That is bad. Why? Because you're just substituting, right? Deleting word and putting another word. Same idea, right? What does a good summarizer do? Right? Thinks the task was very challenging. Sorry, not that one. No. Okay, I have not put it here. But then good summarizers usually look at the overall idea, and then they try to reinvent or reorganize the author's ideas also, right? So just think about it carefully just for a moment. Be patient with me for a moment and listen carefully, because you have to understand this, right? A good summarizer will read the original article, take the author's ideas, and reorganize and re-engineer those ideas without damaging it, but it will be changed and represented in a different way. A bad summarizer, on the other hand, will take the ideas as they are and only change the words. Okay, so this is something that you need to really think about in a little deep manner. Okay, and also the bad summarizers think that the task was very easy and they performed the task very successfully. So this was actually, I took this from a very interesting research paper. They have given college students in, I think, USA, I'm not too sure where the countries, but however, they have taken a class of students, college students, and divided the class into two groups and given summary writing, same summary to be written by two different groups, and then they have evaluated their responses. And one group has actually said overall the summary writing was very easy and they found it very uh, they thought that they have done it very well. And on the other hand, there was another group of people who said it was very difficult and they were confused, they were upset about their summaries. But at the end, when the summaries were evaluated, the second group of people got the highest marks for the summary, right? So this is interesting, isn't it? Because usually bad summarizing, bad summary writers actually think summarizing is a very simple thing. What is this? Something very small, right? However, if you are doubting yourself, if you are upset about your summaries, and if you are thinking about it, probably means that you're a good summarizer. You're learning, you're interested. So that is what the research proves, right? It's very interesting, I think. So based on these research papers, I have categorized summarizing into two separate stages. Okay, so please remember hereafter, if you want to summarize something, there are two main stages. What are the two main stages of summarizing? First stage is always your reading stage, right? And the second stage is the summary stage. So this is why I said reading stage should be 60%, okay? And writing stage should be about 40%. So according to another research that I found, Havla says good summarizers master reading techniques. They first find meaning in the text and then they figure out how different parts of the text are connected. Okay, so now think about it again. Are you this type of a person? First, you need to know reading techniques. What are reading techniques? Can all of you tell me one or two reading techniques that you know very quickly? I've just mentioned in today's session also a little earlier, I mentioned two reading techniques. Do any of you know? Good. Farah, Lini, everyone. Excellent. There you go. Allah, good. Right? So just taking from your answers, right? Skimming, scanning, predicting, inferencing, right? All these are very, very important reading skills, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, that means probably you need to find out and learn. So learn and practice a lot of very good connective words. So these are excellent answers. Means that you all have certain level of knowledge. That's very important, right? Okay, what do first good summarizers do, everyone? They pay attention to their reading stage. What do they do in the reading stage? They use reading techniques. They find meaning in the text, and then they try and think of how different sections of the book, magazine, article, report are connected. Okay, once they are okay with the reading stage, once they are confident with their reading, then only they move into the writing stage. So at the writing stage, they master text structure, and it helps to identify significant information and remove unnecessary details. Now, Sri Lankans are sometimes very greedy, They want to keep everything, all the details. Make a tonemis, sarka tonemis. I know that's important, miss. That's a nice detail, miss. So people want to let go, right? So first thing is you have to be very, very generous in deleting information, right? Right side block is not clear, is it? Okay, let me see if I can expand. Thank you for telling me. I hope now it's a little clear, is it? Okay, so let me know if it is not clear, right? Okay, so they need to delete unnecessary secondary detail. They have to be very generous in doing that. And then they will use paraphrasing as a major strategy and displays good linguistic proficiency. What do I mean by that? Linguistic proficiency means your grammar, vocabulary, and then your sentence structure. You have to know good English or good language to write a good summary, right? And is aware of recursive nature. What do I mean by recursive nature? Okay, so when you write a summary, right, your ideas have to be really kind of you have to go back and forth. You put a summary on the line, you have to read it, reread it, come back to your summary again, go back to the original article. So reading, rereading is called recursive. But sometimes bad summarizers think they can sit and in one go they can complete a summary, right? So always remember these are bad behaviors, right? Okay, what have we done so far, everyone, today in the session? Can you think of the key points I have discussed with all of you? Just think in your mind, what did we do? We talked about what is a summary, what are the types of summaries, what are the good behaviors, the bad behaviors, definitions, main skills, right? So a lot had been discussed about summaries. So let's do something different now. I'm going to show you a video, right? Now this is, I should say, this is, I use it for my undergraduate level studies. So it's not really a very, very high level sort of a video, but it will give you some ideas about annotating. Annotating is, as I discussed with you, reading stage. And the reading stage I'm going to do something very small this time. I want you to write down 5 annotation methods that you think you will use hereafter. After today's session, which 5 methods will you use? Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to watch a video, and what are you going to do? You're going to write down 5 methods that you personally like, and what 5 methods you're going to use for your future summarizing activities. Okay, so let me share the video with all of you. Can you see the video now, everyone? Can you see the video? Shall I just play it for a little bit? Let me know if you can hear the sound also. I can reach any close. So I'm going to do that. I can do. And then let's watch this. I'm going to just bring it forward a little because she talks too much. Okay, watch it too much. So I'm going to start from this point onwards, right? And then let's watch. So what are we learning about from this video? Of nothing, improving your reading comprehension, because as I said, good summaries always pay attention to their reading stage, right? So in the reading stage, annotating your notes is a very important stage. So I'm going to play the video now. Please watch and tell me at least one method you're going to use. Please watch and tell me at least one method you're going to use hereafter for your personal practice. Oh, I think you can't hear the audio, no? So let me cancel and see. I think there's a bit of problem. Hold on, everyone. Yes, I got. Yeah, I think you can't hear. Let me try that again. Okay. So.
That you're missing in your reading.
Can you hear now, everyone?
Annotating means taking it on a text, either in a book or an article or something similar. So to annotate means to take notes. Now you might be wondering why the heck you'd want to annotate anyway. For so many reasons, but the most important reason you'd be.
I paused it now, but can you hear it now? Everyone, it seems there is a bit of a problem. So let me check what is happening. Can you hear me, everyone? Okay, thank you. Just give me a second. I'm just checking what is happening here. Because when I try to play the video, the connection drops. Just trying to see what. Okay, let me try one last time. Okay, and if I can't, I will send you the link. You can watch it later, and then yeah, and then just find out how you can use annotation and improve your reading comprehension. Okay, so let me give it one last time, a little try.
But even if annotating isn't a requirement, it's a great skill to have and just might be the key that you've been missing in your reading life. True though. So first things first, annotating means taking notes on a text, either in a book or an article or something similar. So to annotate means to take notes. Now you might be wondering why the heck you'd want to annotate anyway. For so many reasons, but the most important reason you'd annotate is for a deeper understanding of the material. So taking notes on your text helps you comprehend what you're reading on a much deeper level than if you were to just read it straight through. So here are 4 major benefits of annotating. Number 1, it keeps you awake and engaged as you read. You have to stay awake. And it reduces your chances of fake reading syndrome. I've coined that. I think, when you read and you think you're reading and you're not. Number 2, it helps you process what you're reading as you're reading it. Number 3, it slows down your reading, which is actually a good thing because decreasing your pace can often increase your comprehension and retention. And number 4, it double whammies as a way to quickly find information later on. So in other words, when you go back into the book to find something later, you can just read your annotations, which is faster than reading the actual text a second time through. So how do you annotate? Just as there are so many types of learners, there are so many different techniques that suit different students. You might have to experiment for a while to see what does and doesn't work for you, but there are some basic annotation principles or rules to keep in mind as you figure out your system. So here are 11 annotation techniques that you might find helpful. Number 1, circle any unfamiliar words as you're reading, and then look them up and write down the definition. Here's a little hack. If you get the dictionary.com app, you can look the word up in like 2 seconds on your phone. Keep your phone right next to you. Not that you should have your phone when you're studying, but say. Number 2, use question marks in the book to indicate areas of certainty, so uncertainty. So anytime you're reading and you're like, what? Put a question mark. Number 3, use stars to indicate anything that seems important, such as themes or symbols or foreshadowing. Number 4, use exclamation points to indicate something dramatic or a key turning point or something you want to come back to. Number 5, circle or mark somehow, pick a shape, use a trapezoid. I didn't remember what a trapezoid looks like. Circle any character names anytime they are introduced for the first time in the book. Number 6, keep a list somewhere, maybe on the inside cover, of all the characters and their traits. And you would add to this list as new characters are introduced or as you learn more about the existing characters. Number 7, write your notes in the margins, which is the best method, on sticky notes, which is a decent method, or in a separate notebook, which is your least favorable method. But if you don't own the book, you can't write in it, so you might have to do that. Number 8, paraphrase, which is a summarization technique. Each chapter after you finish reading it. Now you only need a few sentences to do this. So write it down, write your little summary down at the beginning or the end of each chapter. Take the time to do this right after you read the chapter and not like 5 chapters later. Number 9, write down any questions that you have about the text. Either questions you're willing to wait to find out the answer to as you read further, or questions that you want to bring up to your teacher in class the next day. Number 10, we're almost there. Use a color-coded system if that type of thing appeals to you. Colors, yes. Number 11, give each chapter a title. So after you finish reading each chapter, go back to its title page and give it a title. Now, the title should simply be the main idea of the chapter or a statement about the main event in the chapter. If the chapter already has a title, chances are that it's just a catchy one. It's interesting and not helpful. So still go ahead and title it yourself with a little summary statement. Here's a note though. If you're reading a text on your tablet or your iPad, you can still annotate. There are so many cool apps that allow you to circle, underline, highlight, use a trapezoid, doodle, whatever. Just do a basic search for annotation apps and you'll find a bunch. I Annotate PDF, I think is a good one. I don't know if things have changed, but that used to be a good one. I think you have to pay for it though. Check it out. So when you're reading and you're annotating, keep in mind that your notes should represent your thoughts. Your notes should represent your interaction with the story, with the author, the characters, etc.
Okay, right. So can you quickly, those of you who watched it, can you quickly at least tell me one annotation method that you're going to use hereafter, or yeah, you're planning to use hereafter at least when you are doing the reading section, right? Tell me just one at least. Okay, very good. Color code says Mahesha. Pavani says paraphrasing, color coding, and looking at the title. Sarah says keep a list of characters and traits. So that's an important thing because you find now characters of course come in novels and fiction, but then even if you research on the internet, I'm sure y'all kind of you've seen, right? There are a lot of names that are appearing in the reading material that we do. Circle the unknown words. So that's a good another annotation method. Make sure you just don't stop from circling. You have to find out the difficult word also, right? Because sometimes it kind of damages the comprehension if you don't know the word. Okay, right. So excellent job, everyone. Please make sure that you are taking notes and you're thinking of these, because actually there are there's no silver bullet when it comes to writing summaries, right? A lot of people think there's a magic formula that people can give you and say, okay, look here, use this, and every time you write a summary it will be fantastic. But unfortunately, I'm sure all of you who are there today, you know that this is not the case, right? Every summary is different. Every person is different. So how we look at a text will reflect in the summary that we write. So make sure that you think about these tiny little steps because they really make a huge difference, right? As I have shown you previously, I have created these lessons based on research. So research studies have actually found that people who pay a lot of attention to their reading skills become very good summarizers. So don't ignore what you are learning. Okay, I'm moving on to the most important segment of today's session. So please stay till the end because now this is where you're going to actually go deep into your summary writing skills. I'm sure everyone who gives full effort today will really see a change in the way you approach summaries in your exams, in your assignments, and even in your office today, right? Okay, based on research, I have identified that there are 5 main rules, right? We call them process rules of summary writing. So if you want to write a summary, you need to know what these 5 process rules are. And we will be doing some interesting short activities. As I said before, I'm not going to get you to do a lot of hard writing. I'm just going to give you some fun activities so that you'll really learn these 5 process rules in a very kind of enjoyable manner. So it is up to all of you to apply that to a real difficult summary later on, right? But first start Let's start with something general, something that all of us can tackle and understand. Okay, so I'm going to first, now if you remember, I'm going to, as I said, this is a general introduction into summaries. So I'm going to talk to you first about writing short summaries. If your short summaries are successful, I'm sure you can definitely convert and transform those skills for a longer summary. Okay, however, long summary writing has another set of process rules. I'm going to briefly touch upon them as well. So don't leave, make sure you're taking notes and you are participating in the session, right? So let's really give it a try and see how good you are with your summary writing skills. The 5 process rules. Let me remind again, what are the 5 process rules? Now we come to the second stage, by the way. Okay, I forgot to mention that. So if I show this graph to you, summary writing has 2 stages. The reading stage, you need to pay attention to reading strategies, annotation, find meaning, and you look at different parts of the text, right? Now we are moving into the actual writing part where we need to use the 5 process rules of summary writing. First is deletion of unimportant or trivial information. So you need to be very gracious, very, you should not have any greed to keep all the information. You need to let go. So that is called deleting unimportant information. Also redundant information. Then superordination of lists, that's an important skill, right? Sometimes you have to use it. Selection of a topic sentence, which is a very important skill. And finally, invention. Okay, so these are the 5 rules which I have already mentioned these in your handout. So you can look at your handout and we are going to actually practically apply these now. Okay, so get ready everyone, take your notepads and I want you to get started with your writing part. Okay, writing short summaries. Let's look at the first one. Practice deleting unimportant or trivial and redundant information. That is the first 2. Those are the first 2 process rules, right? We need to learn how to delete unimportant, trivial, redundant information. Okay, so everyone, let's look at the first item I have put here. I want you to first try and tell me what are the unimportant, redundant, trivial information in the first sentence. Can you tell me at least one redundant information? And then I would like you to write a summary of the first sentence after you do that. Okay, just make sure you follow the steps correctly. First, identify the redundant information, unimportant information, underline those, right? And then secondly, once you have deleted them, I want you to write a 1 sentence summary for example 1 and 3. So I'm going to be silent for a few minutes. Let's see who responds first. I want you to send me some unimportant information for the first sentence. Yeah, good. So I had a sandwich, says Pavani. That's very good. Chanika says I had a sandwich. Very good. Everyone seems to have identified a good, I mean, it's not a good one, but it's kind of a redundant information, right? So well done. So can you now summarize this sentence, everyone, into 1 sentence? So make sure maybe you can, let me give you a word limit. 16 to 20 words. How many words are there in the original? 25. Yeah, 20 words would be too much. So try to 15 words, 15, 16 words. Can you all try to summarize the first text, first example? Okay, good attempt from Viraj. Viraj says, my family went to the airport to meet my sister, but flight was delayed. Okay, good effort, Viraj. But when you say my family, I is missing, no? So that's the only limitation, but it's a very good effort. Um, anyone else? Tanuja says, yeah, Tanuja, but then if we say my family picked up my sister, then we are interpreting the idea in a different way, right? Which we should not do, because obviously, yes, they picked up the sister later. However, in this text, it says we had to wait at the airport. It does not mention anything about picking the sister up. Obviously, yes, later we can understand, but then that is the important thing we must do. We should not change the meaning. Okay, so try to work very closely to the meaning, everyone. Okay, very good. So I see a lot of good answers, right? But some answers may be a little too wordy. Just that be careful that you don't really change or mix up the original idea. Okay, so if we say we picked up the sister, it is not accurate as a summary, because it does not say she was picked up. Rather, the main idea is about being waiting, have to wait at the airport, right? Sister's flight, Dizak says my sister's flight got delayed and we wait. Ah, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, Dizak, right? Good. So let me show you the original answer, right? I don't know if it is clear to you. Just see at the bottom, my family and I had to wait at the airport as my sister's flight was delayed. However, this is not just the only way to summarize it. Okay, I see some very good answers from all of you. However, the most important thing, everyone, is for us to remember that the original message cannot be altered with, right? You can't change. Okay, so how do you know that? You need to write and respond, right? You have to actively engage. If you don't do this on your own, you will never realize that. So therefore, I really appreciate everyone who's sending in your answers. You all are doing a lot of good work. So be careful, but you have to try and write, because otherwise summary writing can never be improved, right? Okay, to save time, shall we move on to the third one? So the third one, I'm sure you can summarize this in a very, very short manner. I will give you a little hint. The original summary has 5 words. So can you look at example number 3, and can you give a try to summarize it in 5 words? Let's see. Okay, don't worry if you can't, but just think and give it a try. That's important to be very active and hands-on, right? So I'll be quiet. I want you to look at answer 3 or sample 3 and summarize it in 5 words if you can. Ah, very good. Disak, you are getting there. And Farah, excellent. Huh? You all are very good. Very good. Farah and Disak, excellent answers. Huh? Tanuja, good answer. Little over 5 words, but doesn't matter. You're giving it a try. Prageet, good answer, but a little too much, no? Excellent. Seguraj, very good. Good job. See, you all are doing excellent. Prajeevan, good. Nista, excellent. See, you all are very good. So let me show you the original summary, everyone. And you can be very happy that you got it. Okay. What are we learning? Okay. I hope you can see the second answer at the bottom. Just check. Dinosaurs had different body sizes. So compare that with your answer and check and think, did you get 5 words or did you get more than 5 words? It's fine. But all I'm saying is we need to really think, plan and practice. Okay. When you do activities like this, they can look very small, but your brain is learning a lot now. So I'm very happy, Ishani, Ruvani, a lot of them have sent in answers. I'm very happy that you all are giving it a try, because everyone, there is a saying, no? In Sinhala you say tapalin peenanni igena ganna ba. So unless you write your summaries down, you will never learn about it, right? So give yourself a clap for doing a very good job. What did you learn? Now we learned about the first process writing rule, right? First two actually. We learned how to delete unimportant, trivial and redundant information, right? So let's see how many of you can get this one right. Okay, the third rule is practice superordination. Okay, what is superordination? Now for example, sometimes when in original books or magazines, or when we read something, there are long lists of things, no, items. For example, there are just imagine if there's a list and it says cars, lorries, buses, vans, jeeps, right? You can use superordination to summarize all these things. So instead of writing all those long words, you can say vehicles. So vehicle is a superordinate term for cars, buses, vans, lorries, aeroplanes, and etc. Right? So what is that called, everyone? Superordination. Think about what I said and try to do 7 and 8 very quickly. Try and tell me how to use superordination, what term you will use. Let's see. 7 and 8. Very good. Excellent. Malindu, Pavani, Viraj. Excellent. Body, yeah, body parts is also correct. Yes, yes. Okay. So there you go. So, yes. First, number 7, what can we say? Eyes, ears, neck, arms, legs, all these are called body parts, or another, the better word. Better word is organs. Ara gahana organ nemei. Human organs. ORGANS, organs, human organs, right? But you can, yes, you can use the word body parts also, human organs. There you go. Ishani gives the correct answer, right? Again, a good job. Think about the vocabulary knowledge, because you can't do superordination if your vocabulary is very poor, very low, right? Okay, what about number 8, everyone? It's a bit difficult, but just think about it. How will you give a superordinate term for that? Drugs, car accidents, suicides, homicides, fires. Any ideas for number 8? What can we say? It's a bit difficult, I know, but just try and think about the sentence style. Sometimes the sentence structure can help us to understand a term. Okay, good. Farah says accidents. Not exactly Kavinda, because you can't say cons, right? Non-spreadable diseases. No, you can't say that, no? Smoking is injurious to health, obviously, but you can't use it here, okay? Praveen, right? You can't use it here. Prageet, sorry. But I think I saw something good. Okay. Other means. Okay, Mixa, good thinking. Now this is, it requires you to think in a creative manner, also maybe a little creative, okay, not too creative. Chanika says many other cigarette causes, many other, no, not exactly the same as number 8, Chanika, okay, be careful. As I said, you cannot change the original meaning. Unnatural deaths, yeah, I think there's a logic in it. However, can we use it in that sentence, Tanuja? Good thinking, but always we have to also think like everything that we can think of can't be put into a sentence, right? Okay. So you see that there are some difficult levels also where summarization can become a challenge to us, right? But what I'm saying is practicing is the key. You reading and practicing. So let's look at the original answer. You can think about how you thought and why this is better than that, or whether it is better. I'm not saying this is better, but you can just think about it, right? Look at the sentence overall. It sounds natural. So that's another point about summarization, everyone. When you finish writing your summary should sound natural to the ears, right? To the eyes. So it should not look unnatural. So when you read this sentence, I think it sounds more natural than saying um, uh, um, unnatural death or something like that, right? So the original sentence, summary sentence here, everyone, I hope you can see at the bottom. Cigarette smoking accounts for more deaths than any other causes combined. Okay, that is the correct summary, but you can, as many of you correctly pointed out, uh, you have used creative words like other means. So these are good. Ruchira and a few other people said that. Other means. You can say cigarette smoking accounts for more deaths than any other means. Yeah, correct. Or you can say cigarette smoking accounts for more deaths than any other causes combined, because it's a cause, no? Cause of death. So all the other stuff, drugs, car accidents, suicide, homicides, these are causes of death, right? So that's why it's called causes here. Okay, so think about it. Good job, because you have to practice like this. Because I think we don't really bother with smaller areas of summarizing like this, right? Okay, moving on to the third one. The third process rule, if I remind you again, is practicing how to select the topic sentence. So look at the slide, everyone. Right? I'm sure many of you have learned this before, but let's revise and recall what is a topic sentence. So every time you read a paragraph, a good paragraph should contain a topic sentence. How do you recognize this topic sentence? You have to ask yourself a few questions, right? Who or what is the paragraph about? So in other words, what is the topic of this paragraph? What is the author concerned with? What exactly about the topic the author is telling me about? Okay. what does the author really want readers to understand about this person or issue? So, for example, if you read something like Sri Lanka is the most beautiful country in the world because it is full of human and natural resources. Okay, what is the topic of the paragraph? Sri Lanka. What is the author concerned with? The author is concerned with the beauty of Sri Lanka. Okay, what does the author really want readers to understand? The author is saying that Sri Lanka is the most beautiful country because it has two resources, human resource, natural resource. Okay, so you have to find a sentence that conveys all these messages in one sentence, and that is called the topic sentence. Okay, so let me go back to the process rules. We have talked about the deletion of unimportant trivial information, deletion of redundant information, and superordination of list. Right now, we are talking about selecting the topic sentence. So let's see. Okay. Now, look at these two examples. Again, all this you can find in the handout I shared with you, and there are more additional paragraphs for you to practice. Yeah, exactly. As Mr. says, Sri Lanka is naturally gifted land. So the concept, the topic is the beauty of Sri Lanka, how beautiful the country is and why. That is the main idea of the topic sentence, right? Okay, let's do it by looking at a very short paragraph first. Look at the first paragraph. Can you quickly tell me the first 2-3 words? Don't write the whole sentence to me. Find the topic sentence and tell me the first 3 words of the topic sentence for the first paragraph. It's in the chat content because I think I shared the handout in the chat. Just check. Shall I send it again for you? Okay, everyone. Habitat of birds. Okay, no, I still didn't get the answer. What is the topic sentence? Let me show you again how to recognize the topic sentence. Now look at it. Who or what the topic is, the paragraph is about. So it should say the topic, the attitude of the author, and then what exactly is this person talking about. So think about that. Try to find a sentence that really captures the gist or the key point of the entire paragraph. It has to be one sentence. Tell me the first 3 words of that topic sentence. Not the topic. Huh? There's a big difference between a topic and a topic sentence. I'm looking for one sentence. The topic, as you say, is bird habitats. That's a topic. I don't want the topic. I want the topic sentence. So topic sentence captures the entire gist or the summary. It's a summary sentence. Okay, what is the topic sentence for the first paragraph here? In the meantime, let me try to upload the handout again for you if you did not really get it. Yeah, okay, I have sent the handout again for you. If you were unable to actually download it, please get it again. Okay, let me share. Okay, I think yes, Tanuja came very close to the correct answer, right? There is a clear sentence in this paragraph, everyone. You don't have to work a lot because the author himself has given you a topic sentence. So what is this sentence? Can all of you see this one? Okay, this is the topic sentence for the, I don't know, like, yeah, sorry, it's kind of, okay, let me highlight. Yeah, so shall I draw instead of, yeah, okay, so this is the topic sentence. Why is it the topic sentence? Can all of you think about it? Why is it the topic sentence, everyone? Because it actually captures the main point. What is the main point for this entire paragraph? This entire paragraph is not just talking about habitats or birds, right? It is talking about how birds build different nests in different places, right? So bottom line is birds build their nest in various different locations. Okay, now see, this is a very simple paragraph, but if we get confused with the main idea, our summary will definitely suffer because of that. Okay, so if we say that this paragraph is about bird habitats, then we are not giving the full main idea, right? If you want to give the full main idea, you must remember this paragraph is talking about bird habitats, but it is also talking about the variety of bird habitats, right? I hope you understand. Think carefully, because there are nuances when it comes to language. ඉතාම ළඟ ළඟ තේරුම් තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි මේ තේරුම් මික්ස් කරගත්තොත් අපේ සමරියක ගොඩාක් වරදිනවා. So misinterpretation and miscommunication. Yes, I just shared it, Ruvini. Just now it is shared. Just look a little ahead. It is there. I have shared it twice, the handout. Okay. It is there at least. Is there anyone who downloaded it? Really? Why is that? Because for me it says successfully sent. Is there another way to send it to you? I don't know. Shall I try once more? Yes, now see, again I sent it to you now. Now please check immediately before you send anything. Yes. Okay, excellent. Right, very good, right? So everyone, please don't forget to do the activities there. I have put more examples for you to practice. And as we just saw now, a lot of this has to do with our ability to think about similar notions that have very okay, thank you, Lalanta, for explaining, clarifying that. If you are logged in, because according to Lalanta, if you are logged in through a mobile device, then it doesn't come, it seems. So what you can do is maybe after the session, I will ask Augusta to share the handout with all of you through email. But if there is a option for you to get it through your laptops, please do that. Okay, but don't worry, I will somehow give the handout to you after the session, not today, but probably tomorrow. Augusta will send all of you an email, and then you probably get it, right? Again, everyone, always remember, may handout gattara වැඩක් කරන්න නැත්නම්, right? So make sure you do it, and really take the benefit, because it's really interesting, right? When you most welcome, and y'all can always reach me. I'll try to provide a solution if I can, right? But just make sure that you do this. Then when you do that, only you get that energy, right? I see every day this happening with my students. The people who participate, people who actually do the work, they really enjoy it, right? So the benefits that you can get from this type of work is actually enormous. Have you heard about this expression? I really like it because, it really captures something about communication. There's this nice expression. They say communication is like personal hygiene. මට ටිකක් තේරුම් ගන්න වෙලා ගියා අය ඒක එහෙම කිව්වේ කියලා. Communication is like personal hygiene. If you ignore it, right, don't blame people when they walk away from you. Communication is like personal hygiene. If you ignore it, when people move away from you, don't regret it. ඒ වගේ අදහසක්. එතකොට දැන් ඔක තේරුම් ගන්න මට කාලයක් ගියා. But then the reason is that, what is personal hygiene? We like say brushing your teeth or having a bath. No, now these days, like if you are in office, you are wearing a face mask and people don't really bother. But gradually, people will catch up with it. No, gradually they will realize that, this person is very, this stinking, there's a smell coming and all that. And gradually they will move away from you. So communication is also like that. If you can't write a good summary, if you are not polite to people when you speak in English, if you don't know how to address a client or a customer, if you don't know how to use the English language to achieve what you want, gradually people will move away from you towards people who can do these things. So when you realize that, it will be very, very late, because it's not like Hussein Bolt getting a medal, no, vinadi tappara ganen eka wenawa. But communication is not like that. It takes years and years for you to see the negative repercussions. But when you finally realize it, you're too late. Okay. So that's why I'm really happy that there was a huge response for today's session. So I really hope all of you are getting the maximum benefit, and I have based it on real actual research findings so that you know these things really matter for you, right? So what did we do now, everyone? We tried to understand the topic sentence. Okay, topic sentence. So shall we do the second one very quickly and see? Now, I hope everyone remembers what is a topic sentence. It is one sentence written by the author that summarizes the entire paragraph. Okay, one sentence written by the author that summarizes the entire paragraph. So can you please look at the second example and tell me the first 3 words of the topic sentence? Very good. Seguraj, excellent job. Let's see who else gets it. Very true. Pavani, excellent. What is the topic sentence, everyone, for the second paragraph? Try and give your full effort, because when you understand it, you really feel a level of happiness that you can't explain to anybody else. Or a personal hygiene, right? You feel so happy when you have a nice bath, no? When you feel dirty and sweaty, finally you go and have a shower. You feel so happy, no? ඒ වගේ තමයි. ඉතින් topic sentence එක හොයාගත්තාම යේ කියලා හිතෙනවා. නමුත් It's kind of your own pleasure. You can't really tell other people. It's just for your personal pleasure, right? So try and give it a try, give your full effort, right? Excellent, good, right, wonderful. See, so now you all are good at this. So let me underline the topic sentence here. Okay. What did you learn from this activity, everyone? That a topic sentence can be found at the beginning of a paragraph, it can happen in the middle of a paragraph, or it can occur at the bottom of the paragraph, right? So is that clear? This knowledge is important for you when you write your own summaries. So in a summary, you have to include a topic sentence. So that means when you write a summary, you can put your topic sentence either at the beginning, the middle, or the end. So that is what you learn from this one, right? And this is the third or the fourth process rule, right? And we are moving to the final process rule. Okay, what is the final process rule? Let me erase the underline part. Okay, so this was from previous. Right. So the last one is invention, right? So there are 5 process rules that we discussed very quickly. Let me recall them. Deletion of unimportant trivial information, deletion of redundant information, superordination of lists, and selection of topic sentence. Now we are talking about the final process rule. Invention, right? What is invention? Now, most of the time, unfortunately, when you do summarizing, the biggest problem that we encounter, that we face, is that the source text, the book or the article, the report that you are reading doesn't have a topic sentence. Okay, think about it. What is a topic sentence? A topic sentence is a single sentence written by the author, right? It is clearly there in the paragraph. But most of the time, if you read other people's writings, you will not be able to find a clear topic sentence, right? In those situations, you have to actually invent the topic sentence or the main idea on your own. Okay, so let's try to do that for this one. There is no topic sentence for the first example on the slide, right? I want you to read it and I want you to tell me what is the topic sentence or the main idea for the first example. Very good. Tanuja, good answer. Pavani, excellent. I want more answers, everyone. Okay, can you all please send more answers, because we are now actually getting ready to do the difficult part of summarization. So if you don't do these things, when I go to a real difficult source article, you will not be able to summarize. And therefore, all the time you spent in today's workshop will not really help you, because you didn't stay till the end. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Don't just be here just to cover your CPD. As I said, be here because you really want to improve, right? Because as I said before, every professional shows the external world that he or she is capable through your communication skills. So there is no better way to improve your communication than writing a good summary, because it requires you to think a lot, right? So think about today's discussion. I'm gradually bringing you into deep water. I didn't push you into deep water at the beginning. I'm taking you gradually to deep water so that you know how to navigate, how to swim and save yourself later. Right, wonderful. Thank you for all the good answers, right? See, I'm looking at answers and I think everyone is getting it right this time. Okay, right. So basically, animals give benefits to human beings, right? Or uses of animals, or how animals can help people, right? That is a summary. But is it there as a sentence in this paragraph, everyone? No, right? That is not. But if you look at the, yes, exactly. So if you look at the previous one, here we found topic sentences, right? So I hope you all are clear on what I'm saying. Topic sentence is useful to a summarizer if it is given to the given by the writer, no? But what if the writer doesn't give you a topic sentence? Then you have to move to the invention strategy. Okay, invention is reading on your own and thinking and understanding the main idea. So the main idea for the first example is animals provide services. Animals provide services to humans, something like that. No, very simple. Okay, moving on to the second example. Can all of you quickly read and tell me the main idea for the second example here? Okay, Kavinda, can you be a little bit more specific? Because what you are writing is the topic. As I said, topic and topic sentence is different. A topic sentence has to convey a fuller meaning, right? So when you say ledger of a business, you have to be more explicit than that to capture the full idea. Good. Tanuja came very close, right? I need more answers. Okay, I like Vindhya's answer. I'm going to just take from her, right? Because I think, no, where's the answer? Yeah, I think I saw Vindhya's answer, good one, but now I can't find it. What's Vindhya's answer now? It's difficult to scroll on the. Yeah, okay. So Disak says record keeping varies according to the business type. Yes, something like that. Okay. The type of record that you keep depends on the type of business that you have. That is the main idea here. And also Sahara also says, I mean, there says like ledger accounts depend on the size of the business. There you go, right? So these are very, very good interpretations of the main idea. Number of ledger accounts based on the nature of the business. There you go. Excellent job, right? So it's as you know, everyone, since I teach IELTS also, one of the biggest problems that I have actually with the people who are trying to do IELTS is they don't know summarization. But if you are looking for IELTS skills, if you are actually trying to take the IELTS exam, everyone, please remember, without this summarization knowledge, you will find it very difficult to achieve 6.5 and above. Okay, that's a guarantee, because summarization is a very, very critical thing that is indirectly tested in IELTS. Why am I saying this? Because, you know, a lot of people think summary writing is something very easy, and then they never think that international exams will require them to do summarization. So that's another benefit from today's session. The more you practice with me, you are learning a lot of things about summarization. Right now, see, I'm looking at answers and I did not see a single answer that is wrong, which is very, very good, because it's difficult to teach summarization in one short session like this. I'm sure you understand that it is a very deep skill. 3 hours or 2.5 hours is not at all enough, but you all are doing a very, very good job. Right. So let's come to the final part of today's discussion. I'm only going to do a little bit on this, and the rest is up to you, because as I just now mentioned, it's very difficult to do a full summary writing in an online class. Number one, people will fall asleep, definitely, right? So I'm very happy that you all have been responding to me. Right. So here is a very simple, easy thing for you to remember. Remember 7 steps of summary writing, and you will never go wrong with your summarizing of longer text hereafter, right? But in order to do these 7 steps, you will have to remember and know the previous discussion we have had in today's session. The 5 process rules of summary writing is the foundation for 7 steps of summary writing, right? So if you have been listening to me from the beginning, you know what I'm talking about. If you have missed that section, please make sure, if when the recording is available, go back to the process rules first and do the activities, and then come back to the 7 steps of summary writing. Okay, so there are simple steps that everyone needs to remember. Number 1, as I said, reading section, reading stage and writing stage. So in the 7 steps of summary writing, we need to focus on the reading stage first. So what do? You need to read the article, use skimming and scanning. You remember I mentioned these to identify the main idea, topic, sentence, thesis statement. Secondly, you need to reread the article. So at least twice or thrice you have to read the report, article, magazine, whatever you are trying to summarize. Okay, if it is in the exam, you want to read that also several times. Divide the article into segments. Now you remember annotation video that I showed you, right? So use the annotation techniques, label each segment and highlight, underline. Okay, so read the article second time, divide it into segments, label each segment, highlight or underline each of the main points. Then you need to try and write 1 sentence summaries or maybe shorter summaries. Okay, look at everything that you have written for each section. So say you are trying to summarize a 5-paragraph article. 5-paragraph article. I'm going to give you an example now. Okay, just wait until show it to you. 5-paragraph article. So what it means is you need to section. Now already it's section, right? 5 sections are there. So what do you need to do? Make sure you annotate, highlight, underline, think about it, interact with the material, and write on the side what you are thinking about the text. Okay, and then look at all your annotations and try to write a short summary for each paragraph. So there are 5 paragraphs, and that means you have to write 5 short summaries. Okay, then look at all the 5 summaries that you have written and try to write a shorter summary. That is the super short summary, right, for the entire summarization. So this is called the thesis statement, right? So, or in other words, it's the central theme, because you are now looking at a longer text. This is not needed for short 1-paragraph summaries, but if you are trying to say summarize a report in your office, right, then you need to do what I'm saying now, the 7 steps of summary writing. Okay, formulate the thesis statement and then write your first draft. edit your draft, and then rewrite your final draft. All this I have included in your handout. So I want you to study that one by one and do this in a very, very practical manner. Okay. So how are you going to do this, right? So I want you to review the steps of summary writing and compose summaries for the two long text given in your handout first. Okay, so don't try to let me share you the handout. Okay, so I don't want you to actually, yeah, let me give answers later. Okay, because otherwise there's going to be a problem. So I want you to make sure that you summarize the shorter versions first, and then I will, once you do that, in a day or two, I'm going to send you the answers, but I want you to do it first. Okay, otherwise I send you the answers, you look at the answers and say apu api make a danagena hitiya, right? So I'm not going to do that. Let me show you the handout I sent you just now. If you have it, just open it up, everyone, and it's there. What I'm showing you is there. Okay. After I have given you the 7 rules of summary writing, I have included this example. Okay, let me share that. So this is what I have given. I hope you found it in your handout. Okay, so first do this one. This is, you will see, this is a very basic summary. Okay, so try to do that in your free time tomorrow, because I know it's too late now and probably all are feeling tired and sleepy. So I'm not going to get you to write one, but I want you to do this tomorrow or day after. And then probably sometime later, I will ask Augusta to share the answers with you, right? But you need to first write by yourself. Okay, write a short summary. What did I say? I have said use between 40 to 60 words, right? So use between 40 to 60 words and write a summary for this one. So the second one is longer text number 2. Same thing, write a summary between 40 to 60. So what do you need to do before you write the summary? As I said in the handout, right? Follow the 7 steps, right? I hope you remember 7 steps of writing. So do this gradually, practice it thoroughly, and then make sure you know it. However, to finish the session today, I want you to give a little try on a very, very difficult article. Not the whole thing. I just want you to do a very, very small segment. Okay. So that is the final thing I'm going to do. I will not give you any other difficult work to do today, right? Okay, everyone. So this is the third one. And as you see, it is much more relevant and much more difficult for you to, yeah, sure. I will send it again, right? I will send it. No, I can't send it because I have it open. So Anton, I will finish the session and then I will share it again. Okay, so don't worry. Before I end the session, I will share the handout once more so that you can download it, right? If not, don't worry. I will ask the coordinator to share the handout, and later I will send you the answers for this. But first, as I said, I want every one of you to give a try on this one, right? Okay, so shall we give it a try, everyone? I want all of you to try and summarize only the first paragraph. This one. Can you write? Okay, let me think. Can you write in 15 words a summary for this one? 15 words, maximum 15 words. And that is going to be the final activity that we do for today. Yeah, because given the time, I don't want to tire you off, but I do want you to practice. Okay. "15 words, everyone, right? Only the first paragraph. I'm just repeating what I said. I know it's not enough time, but yeah, let's give it a try, because you all have now become very good in summarizing. Okay, as I said before, don't wait for others to respond. I want you to quickly give it a try and summarize. Now remember, what is a summary? Summary is a brief statement of the main points. And how should you do it? Not by copying from the author's word, but by using your own words, and not by copying the ideas exactly, but by interpreting those ideas into your own words. Think about it and look at the text here. It's a difficult text, right? But I'm sure now you have the knowledge and you have the skill also to summarize this. 14 to 15 words maximum. Can you all give it a try, everyone? Try not to copy from the original. Try to think about your own ideas. Don't put your ideas here, but just think about your understanding. You have to give priority to the author's ideas. You can't put your ideas when you summarize. Okay, so this is a difficult thing because the article is a little difficult now. Okay, good. Rasika has sent in an answer. Okay, excellent. Pavani, good, because you have captured the key points there. I will discuss with you what the key points are, right? Rasika, fairly good attempt, Rasika, but I think you have missed out on one important point. So I want you to review again and see. Sarah, very good. Slight misinterpretation, Sarah. Okay, you have identified one of the key points correctly. However, you are slightly misinterpreting the information. It says, you are saying 4 trends which give. Is it giving or doing something else? Think carefully. Right, very good. Farah's answer, very good. it is also better, Farah, if you can mention how many exactly, okay? Because later I'm going to share with you, when you look at the answer, you will realize how many, that number is very important there. So if you can add that, I think your summary is very good. How many words is it? Yes, Tanuja, good idea. However, you're missing one key point. And I really like the way you simplified the ideas here. Big words, no, but Tanuja has used very nice, simple English to explain, right? So the only thing missing, Tanuja, in your summary is one area, one little area has been overlooked. Try to put that here. Right. So I want everyone to write an answer, because this is the final thing we are going to do. Okay. So don't just be there. As I said, please do the work. When you write, only you will realize the depth of it. If you just listen to me and just, become passive, you will not see the depth of summarization. Okay. So always be proactive, because I don't think if you don't benefit from this session, I don't think you will benefit from any of the other sessions also, because I have put my maximum effort into making this very easy for you to manage and to actively participate. I have based it on research. I have tried and made it interactive, right? And I'm giving you lots and lots of examples. So I don't think, if you don't take full benefit, I don't think you will take benefit from any of the other sessions also, because logging in and thinking that there is a recording is not the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is to be truly active and participate. And remember, this is writing. So if you don't like writing, then there is no way that you can improve summary writing skills, because you have to write. You have to sit down, you have to think about the principles and theories I have taught you about communication. And as someone pointed out earlier, your attitude really matters for communication, because it's a skills based subject. It's not a knowledge based subject like management, accounting, right? It's a skills based one. And the benefit is that it is lifetime. So if you learn it once, it is lifetime. But unfortunately, I'm sure all of you know, management, accounting are very dynamic subjects. So if you learn something today, by tomorrow morning it will change. So you have to be up on top with your fields. Fortunately, not unfortunately, communication is not like that. You can learn it, and then if you are confident with it, it's for your life. So get that full benefit, right? So I've seen some more examples. Kanishka says financial literacy of white and Asian. Okay. I think Kanishka has moved into the other one also. Excellent, right? Okay, let me show you what I did. And that is going to be my final point for today, because I said today's session is going to be a general introduction to summary writing. So it is not an in-depth discussion. However, if you all feel that this is beneficial to you and that I have been able to add some value to your life today, as August also said, we can probably go into a more in-depth session with more examples like this. Okay, here goes my answer, and this is what I did. I hope you can see. Okay, now look at it. Now, this is how I did the summarization. You remember annotation and highlighting. So what are the key words? I highlighted the key words in the first paragraph. Okay, so the key words are financial illiteracy, consumers, 4 trends. Now remember that number is important. Now 4 trends and making thoughtful, informed decisions about finance. So what is my summary, everyone? Again, I'm not saying this is the only way to summarize, because I saw some very good summaries from all of you. So there are different ways to summarize. However, key concepts, good practices cannot be altered, right? The first good practice is to pay attention to the writer or the author's purpose or intention. Don't put your ideas. Secondly, you must understand the main points. And thirdly, you have to remember to condense or be concise, right? So the way I summarized it is 4 key developments are making it compulsory for consumers to improve their financial literacy. So that is my way, and it is 14 words, right? 4 key developments are making it compulsory for consumers to improve their financial literacy. Then finally, let me show you how I applied the 7 rules of summary writing, 7 strategies or steps of summary writing. Okay. I created separate sections. I did annotations, and then for each section, I wrote a short summary like this. Can you see? And I put the number of words also. So every section, I have written a shorter summary for every section, right? Okay, so these are, I hope you all are looking at it. So these are the short summaries. And then, okay, so this is, then what I did is I took all the summaries together. As I said, I created a thesis statement, right? So the first sentence that you summarized just now is the thesis statement. So this is how I used it. I did not use it in a raw manner. I adjusted it so that it becomes a very coherent, cohesive, flowing summary. Okay, so these are the deep end of summary writing. So today we don't have enough time to discuss these deep issues about summary writing. Okay, so I'm just showing you what can be learned next. If you are honestly interested, what you can focus next in your summary writing journey, right? So here is the sentence, and this is how I used it, how I changed it, and how I used it. The author of this Investopedia.com article highlights 4 key developments that make it compulsory for consumers to improve their financial literacy, right? And then I use discourse markers and various other composition strategies, and you see it comes to 254 words, right? So here is the actual analysis of my answer. Right now, this is exactly what you need to do in your exams also, right? If your summary writing skills are not up to standards, you need to check whether you can produce a summary of this nature. So your summaries will have to have a thesis statement, it has to have supporting details, and it has to have a conclusion sentence. And apart from that, the surface features should use discourse markers, linking devices, flow, grammar, syntax. All these are synthesized in order to come up with this. Now, as I said at the beginning, a lot of people will look at this and say, "Ayo, kahari lazy," right? But if you truly sit down and write a summary, then only you will realize how difficult and how time consuming it is for us to actually produce a summary up to this professional level. Okay, so everyone, I hope all of you have understood the key points today, right? What are the things we discussed? Let's do a little revision, right? Today we talked about various important points. We talked about, first of all, what is a summary, right? and we looked at various definitions, right? These are the definitions. We talked about two important things. Your summary has to be concise, and your summary has to look at the main ideas. Then we looked at some examples, good summaries, bad summaries. We talked about two types of summaries, the writer-based summaries and reader-based summaries. So based on the type of summary, you have to select your language, your style, your, even the presentation style, formal language, informal language. You have to decide on all these things based on what type it is, right? So we looked at some practical examples of these summaries. Then we talked about various things or the reasons why summarizing is thought to be difficult. So there are three main reasons: cognitive load, complexities of the target material, and your personal interest and background knowledge. And then we looked at if you are a good or a bad presenter. So we talked about good versus bad summarizing behavior. We talked about two stages of summarizing, what you should be doing in each of these stages. We looked at annotation and how to use annotations to improve your reading stage, reading comprehension. And then we looked at process rules of summary writing. We looked at 5 separate process rules, right? And we practically applied those in different situations. And then we talked about writing longer summaries. So today I'm going to end my discussion by giving you a glimpse of what you need to do, the 7 steps of summary writing when it comes to longer summaries, right? So I hope all of you have benefited from